It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
you see it though? I trust
Android
you.
Life be like,
because I'm trusting my brother.
Android Life be like, because usually when you're recording with the flash on an iPhone, like the flash.
I can just keep mine on before I record though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not an iPhone.
Oh my God, there's no numbers.
You're so funny.
And he's drinking Bud Light right now too. That's funny. Or the Budweiser commercial, they'd be like, on the phone. You know what I'm talking about? They better play that shit around for Halloween. Because the scream guy was like,
Your idea with the mask.
I cannot wait for work. That's gonna be hilarious. They're gonna be like, what the I wear my strippers, so what I want to do for like the Halloween costume the last week of work, I'm gonna order a different serial killer mask for every day. But I can only do 4 because I only know 4. So we got, I can get a Chucky mask. That'll be 5. Yep. So it'll be Scream, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason, and then Chucky.
Smart.
It's gonna be fucking hilarious.
I think it's a smart move. I think that it's like.
Because usually girls will dress up in costumes and shit. Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna be on stage with my Scream mask on. I can't wait twirling around the pole in a stripper outfit. They're gonna be like, this bitch.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. Like I think it's funny, but then also I think it's sexy because the mask shit.
Oh yeah. In
a minute.
I mean, I'll take it off while I'm walking around on like the fucking like floor and stuff because I probably won't get no sales that way because they can't see my face. But on stage, I'm gonna definitely wear that bitch.
Hell yeah. Smart move. Do you think that you could at least one time just like hide in the hallway just to pop out with it on?
I think when I go to the bathroom and take bathroom breaks, I'll wear it. So when I'm walking in and out the bathroom when customers come in for the Halloween party and shit, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
You should pretend like you're just like a mannequin and then start moving with it on.
Oh my God! Like okay, because it's dark in there, so I can lean up on the wall and just be like.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta do it at least one time. You're not gonna make any money off him, but
they just now start getting black mannequins though, and like light skinned mannequins. I'm not sure they're gonna believe I'm a mannequin, but
they'll believe.
We'll try.
They'll believe. They will believe. Did you start it, bro? Oh, cool, awesome. That's what's up. Welcome to the Randy Savagery Show. Welcome to the Randy Savagery Show. Oh, you said it perfectly the first time. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much. We're here with Vinlea, and she is a musical artist. She is from Detroit, or actually she lives in Detroit currently, but you're from the South? Is that where you're from?
I moved around so much, it's hard to, when people ask me that, I can't give no answer. But my music career started in Ypsi and Detroit, so we'll just go from there. My rap career started in Ypsilanti and Detroit, Michigan.
Where'd your life start?
I was born in Westland, but then at 1 year old, I got moved around to Southern Kentucky, and then I moved around to every different town down there. Then I went to Memphis, Tennessee, and then like places back up in Michigan, then back down there. Like I never stayed in one place for more than a year. So the longest time I've ever lived in one place has been in Ypsilanti and Detroit for the past couple of years. So we'll just roll with that.
All right.
I hate when people ask me where I'm from. I'm like, well, all over. I wish I could give you an answer.
Do you not want to talk about the South?
We can talk about anything you want.
Okay, I want.
Yeah,
that's why I wanted to.
Honorable, like I said, because people should be having conversations about shit that we talked about on the way here. You know.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask. So what was? What did you say it was? Where was it in the South?
Corbin, Kentucky.
It's
like it was right on the border with Tennessee. Yeah.
What was that like growing up there? Do you remember any of it? Or?
It was hell.
Oh, really? Oh.
Well, for the most part, I mean, luckily I had my younger siblings, like were my rocks. But growing up there, so from the ages of probably around, I want to say 5 or 6, like I started having problems with my feet and I couldn't fucking walk. So I had 2 surgeries done on each foot. I keep on saying that, on each foot until I was like 13, 14. And then I was the only black kid down there, and I was mixed. I was the only black kid in the whole town. I was mixed. So
still mixed.
Yeah, still mixed. That didn't change. Me walking, that's what changed though.
Yeah, that's crazy because you say you dance now, so it's crazy that you couldn't walk. You couldn't walk for how long? I know,
and now I'm walking across stages and I get to perform and shit. You know, like I came a very long way. So I want to say about 6-7 years of my life, I was in a wheelchair or in a cast or in a walking boot or in a walker or sitting on my ass. I even got homeschooled for 5th and 6th grade because I couldn't walk.
When could you start walking?
All the way without having no extra help.
Like you walk right now?
Since I want to say 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I had some time to get on my feet.
I mean, so it's not good. I would not have wanted that, but at least it happened right before puberty, like that. At least you got it before 13.
I'm really grateful that I can, like I said, I can't even do that shit at all. Let me face it.
So yeah, you talked about though performing on stage, right? So have you done any performances for your music yet? Have you done
hella performances? Like I'm everywhere from Ypsi to Detroit. I was out in Chicago a couple of years ago. I did Backwoods at Bonfires twice. I did Henny's and Hamburgers last year. Like what else? Like I've been a ton of them. Ziggy's and Ypsilanti, the Industrial Complex like twice. I've done probably I want to say like 30 or 40 performances in the past 2-3 years.
So Backwoods and Bonfire is actually where I saw you.
Oh really?
Yep, that's how I.
Oh, which one?
You.
This one or the last one? This one?
Yeah, this
really?
one.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh my gosh, the girls right in front of me were hating on stage, but I feel like they were just being. Like,
what does that mean? Explain.
I'm
curious.
My dancers weird looks. I feel like it's because I had like a white dancer with me.
Let's get into it. Get Eddie with it.
Okay, I feel like it's because I had a white dancer with me, and they were like laughing at her, and it's just because like I don't know. I believe in unity with my mixed ass, so that's why like I always try to make like my. So the Backwards and Bonfires that last year I had like 4 dancers with me, but I always try to mix and include everybody because I don't want anyone to feel excluded from my music. You know, everybody's welcome to listen to it. I feel like that's also the change we need in the world, and like I feel like it expresses me the most when I can have a mixed racial group of dancers on stage. And I was honestly a little bit nervous to that during that performance because they were like making me a little bit nervous, but then after that it made me grow from that performance a lot because I'm just like, you know what, after that I enjoy what I do, and that's about it.
All right.
Wait, can I cuss on this?
You can.
Can you bleep it out?
But try to keep it minimal for 15 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna try. You know my hood right. I'll try.
And you know my boy, my boy's watching the time. You got it. I'll lead by example and I'll help you out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool. I've been trying to like low key slow up on my rapping anyway because my music started to transition to something like younger people can hear. Okay. So I've been trying to work on my mouth, but yeah.
Yeah. There's no reason to curse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no reason.
Your mother wouldn't want you cursing.
I mean.
Dang, she did it right off rip, dude. She meant the funk she want.
She wouldn't. My mom doesn't be.
It tests your verbal skills to try to not swear, though.
Yes, it does.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's I about to say? Like, yeah, my mom, bless her heart. She kind of always like, regardless of her faults, always wanted us to be like whoever we were, whatever regardless. Like,
what color was your mom?
She was white.
All right, so your mom was white, and then your father was the black one. All right, okay, because you're mixed.
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. Continue. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I forgot what we were talking about.
You're talking about your mother, and she always wanted you to be yourself and do what you want.
Thing. Like out of everything else, she never held us back from us expressing who we were. If that makes sense. Like I didn't have the best childhood. My siblings didn't have the best childhood. But the one thing I can always respect my mother for is that she always let us express the way we were. Yeah, I was wearing hand-me-down clothes that came from her or everybody else, or they would really like look like that we were damn near about to be. We were homeless on a few occasions, or we dressed for a long time. Like social services should come pick us up, but at the same time, she always let us dress the way we wanted, talk the way we wanted, sing what we wanted, color and painted what we wanted. She always encouraged like expression, and I feel like it's because like growing up, she didn't have that like choice. Like physically, my physical needs with that woman, bless her heart, I love her so much, were not always met, but my emotional ones for the most part, besides the stress, were like, you know, she tried to care about. So I'll always respect her for that. Okay,
so you're saying at least from like a spiritual or emotional side, she gave you the confidence.
Yeah, she wouldn't let us. She would never hinder who we were.
That's
like
cool.
My mother was like, when I was in jail, her and my ex were the only people that would call me, and I have a large family, a large friend base. The only people, or not call me, but the only people I could call every single day and would pick up the phone no matter what they're doing was her and him.
Wow.
Mainly my mom. And the thing is that I was really close with my grandma growing up and stuff, and my aunt, but like they wouldn't always take the call. But my mom, even as poor as she was during that time while I was in jail, always made sure she had money on the card. When that $5 to that conversation could have meant that she was going to eat that day or get her cigarettes, you know, but she always made sure that she would pick up the phone when I called. She was always right there, rather she was at work, no matter what it was. So emotional support, she does her best at, and I'm grateful for that at the very least.
I liked that. That was nice. It felt like it was coming from the muse. All right. So the South, you go to high school there?
No, I went to Belleville High School up here. Only for a short amount of time. I got expelled from Belleville High School at like my senior year, the first semester, but I did get my diploma still. I still graduated.
What'd you get expelled for?
Well, I had a couple of close friends that weren't really close friends, and they held something over my head and had people bullying me. And then one day at lunch, they were saying some things that hurt my feelings. And this is the situation when I learned how to watch my anger. Now, nobody could probably get me out of character to want to hit somebody. But I got jumped, but because I whooped their ass, and then they were white and they had the money and they had the lawyers, I'm the one that got expelled, and I had to pay $900 worth of court fees, do community service, and get A and B on my record at 17. one's bullying me. But Becky and Felicity, when you guys watch this, I know we already talked about it. Just know I appreciate you for helping me grow. But at the same time, I mean, I'm funk y'all. Funk
Dang,
y'all.
dang. Edits everywhere. Funk y'all. That's funny. She's a white girl named Becky.
Of course, the ones that talk the most shit, right?
Yeah. Possibly. All right. So another thing that I wanted to ask you is, did you play any sports growing up? Did you do any type of physical activity that was school involved?
I really tried. Honestly, in high school, I was almost 300 pounds.
What? Oh shit! I didn't know that shit.
I got the stretch marks to prove it. I got no kids, but I got the stretch marks to prove it.
I had no clue.
Well, because of my medical problems that I had, they put me on birth control. Because at one point, like, I got my period and almost bled to death for 3 months. I was on my period, and I got blood bags from it, and until they gave me the birth control pill, which made me gain a lot of weight. But the birth control pill gave me blood clots in my lungs, and I stopped breathing in my sleep. And I had to get taken off of that, and I gained a lot of weight, and I was depressed, and plus, like, always having to worry about food growing up. And then when I moved in, like, with my grandma up in Michigan, that's how I ended up here. Like, moving up here, she she will always, like, she helped me, like, eat. So then I was always eating everything in sight because it gave me, like, an eating disorder. And eventually, I think at 16, I, like, woke up and one day and I was like, I don't want to get out of bed. I feel gross. So I decided to go to the gym and change my diet. So no, I mean, I tried. I auditioned for cheerleading. I auditioned for volleyball. I really tried with volleyball, but no, they never took me on the team. And probably because I was slow as hell. I never had that experience with sports growing up. Their stuff. And experience going to get changed for that stuff.
Man, you know what I'm going to do, though? When I edit it, I'm going to make it so there's a coin jar. I wish I could get 25 cents. Then she'd stop. Then she'd hold off on them cusses, on the profanity. All right, but that's cool, dude. All right, so you didn't do sports. You tried. You were 300 pounds. You lost that weight. How'd you lose that weight?
Diet and exercise. And a lot of times when people, like, the thing is now, like, I'm always going to be a chubby girl, and I love my belly, and I'm really proud of myself because a lot
I heard it in your song.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times I wasn't able to eat growing up.
Right.
Like, so along that journey, it's not because I lost weight that made me feel good about myself. It's because I finally accepted myself because I gained some of it back. Like, I was, like, probably really thin at one point. Like, I had nothing at all, and then I gained some of it back. And then I realized, well, the only reason why I feel this way about myself is because of the beauty standards and what they set on people and the women. Like, it's fudging ridiculous.
Right. I don't.
You know what I mean? And it makes me feel like, and like now looking back, like now I'm really proud of it. But it's a lifestyle change. When you do want to decide to get healthy, it's not when you go on a diet. You have to make sure to pick something where you can do constantly. You don't want to just diet just to diet. You know, you want to diet is something that you can do forever because if you don't, you're gonna go right back to wherever it was you started. I always encourage people to get healthy, but at the same time, whether you're getting healthy or you decide you don't want to, or you're worried about your body size, do not worry about it at all. It's because of the way this pressure is and this patriarchal ag society.
25 cents, dude. Ching.
That makes you feel the way you feel about yourself. Like, I really hate that women, like, a lot of us feel a lot of pressure and don't feel really accepted, just not from others but by ourselves, because of when we look on social media, we see girls with unrealistic, like, bodies and unrealistic faces, and it makes me so sad because I hated the way I looked growing up because of my history. I would hate to have another kid to grow up the same way, you know? So that's why I put that in my song, because just like when somebody listens to it, maybe a teenage girl listens to it, and the very first lines of the song is, I got a stomach and I'm really proud of it. It's like, okay, wow, there's this girl that's, you know, she makes music, she strips, and she's proud of the fact that she's a little bit, like, you know, she's chubby and stuff. Like, I would hope, like, yeah, I would really hope, because, like I said, I hate the way I felt growing up, and I do not want other people to feel the way I felt, because I hated my skin I was in, and that was, like, the saddest thing ever. Like, how am I 6 years old and hating how I look like?
Because of all the whites around you.
Exactly. Or comparing myself.
Right.
You know, and it was really lonely because it made me feel like I was all alone. And it mainly, there was probably some nice kids at that school, in elementary and middle school, but it's because the way I felt about myself, I wasn't able to connect with others, and it made me internalize a lot of stuff. I didn't start processing a lot of trauma until, I want to say, this year. I'm 23 now.
This year, huh?
I just turned 23 this month. This year, yeah. Is when I started to deal with the things that actually happened to me. Started going to, like, therapy and music therapy and talking to people about it. I mean, I always was open about it, but I just now started healing from it this year. Sat down and realized, like, dang, like, this wasn't fair. This happened to me, and it was okay because I'm still here now. You know what I mean? Like,
so my question is, did you experience any, like, race? Like, was there no, like, hard racism out there? No one ever called you, like...
Well, Heck yeah. That's
Like anyone ever call you like a nigga or like
definitely the N-word or the hard ER was hit a couple of times. I got Oreo.
Yeah, you can say it by the way.
The person that I even called dad called me Swirly Girl growing up, which I don't claim him as my dad. Yeah, he called me Swirly Girl growing up. He used to say that he used to use the N-word heavily himself, and then be like, but not you though, because you're my daughter.
Like nigger?
Yes, he used to say that shit. Yeah, he used to say that shit. He used to say that shit hard himself. This white man, which like I said, I do not claim him. It was the person that took me on his wing. Like, how the you say? I mean, how the fudge could you say that about other people and then like not feel that way towards me? How does that make any sense? And then I realized growing up, like after things that had happened to me, that he always thought of me less than like my siblings. And I didn't realize looking back, like how unfairly I was treated. But like, yeah, Oreo Swirly Girl used to get bullied on the bus. On one time I was fighting like a kid in the library over a Twilight book.
Boy or girl?
Boy. And he pushed me down and breaks my arm.
It broke your arm?
He pushed me down, and when I went to catch myself, I broke my arm, and he didn't get in no trouble for it. My mom was in the office trying to raise hell, but no one actually gave a fudge. I had racist ass teachers. It was flipping crazy because it was just in the early 2000s. And it's just crazy because it's just like, how do you not care about a child's human life like that? Like a girl one time, my hair was always long and curly, like a little bit curlier than it was now, and I used to like lay back on the desk. She literally cut my hair at school because it was on the desk.
God! Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, like it was crazy. I had a friend down there. Her name was Destiny Moore, right?
Destiny Moore. Shouts out to Destiny Moore, by the way, since you said, no. I guess not.
I
guess not.
I mean, I really hope she's doing well. We hung out again for like the first time ever recently, but we had a mini phone. I don't know. I forgive and I love everybody, but she was like somebody in school that had a lot of friends.
Okay.
And she stood up for me. And if it wasn't for her and me being able to go to her house, I probably would not be where I am, like right now. I probably would either would have tried to kill myself by then, or I would have been sad as hell. But it's because of the fact that she stood up for me. Like, shout out, regardless of what happened in our adulthood, shout out Destiny for real, because if it wasn't for her and our friendship and her like, dang, well, you're different. And I know why now, because she's an out lesbian now. So she probably always liked girls at the same time. So she probably could relate to me, you know what I mean? Because I got stood out, and she knew something about herself that she couldn't be outwardly about. Because in the South, they're really like, it's really red, white, and blue down there. But
yeah, they don't allow any of that there. Yeah.
So I'm now looking back, I'm like, that's why she stood up for me and took me like, and we hung out. It's because of the way that she was.
Okay.
Why'd
you ever fallen out?
Because of when I brought her up here, she got really close to a girl that I'm no longer friends with. Just female drama. I don't know what had happened. I don't even remember why I'm mad. I tend to forgive before I forget. So when I don't like being out of character anymore, and I really just genuinely love and wish like the best for everybody. So anytime a situation happens or someone hurts my feelings, I automatically forgive them, and then I forget about it later on. But I still appreciate her for what she did for me, nevertheless. I mean, there has to be a reason why I cut you out of my life, because I'm like loyal to a fault. There'd be no reason for me to cut you out if you didn't do me bold, but I did cut you off. But I still wish the best for her, whatever she's doing. I hope she's doing well.
Okay. All right. So growing up, did you go on vacations?
We could barely afford a place to live or food half the time. I ain't going on vacations.
Well, even I know families that grew up kind of poor, and they still would like.
That would have been nice, if my dad wasn't on meth.
Okay. All right. So no vacations.
Or the person I called dad, if he wasn't doing drugs, that would have been nice, If I had parents, I probably could have. Like when I tell you we were dirt poor, like literally the floors on our ground was dirt.
The ground was dirt.
Well, in the trailer in Kentucky, yeah, like it was dirty. Like literally, like you couldn't walk across, like your feet getting seasoned. And I remember when we lived in Louisville, Kentucky, off 39th and Market, we didn't even have a working bathroom.
Oh my goodness.
And the roaches and the mice used to fight over the dog food. Like me and my brother.
That's so funny. That's a good one. I'm sorry. That's sad, but that's funny.
I'm talking because that was a joke, but it was real life, but it's still a joke. No, me and my sister, my brother, and my stepsister at the time, and sometimes my sister's boyfriend used to share one mattress like on the floor, and like in the middle of the night, I would be like, what's going on? All you hear is a mouse screech. You hear a mouse going. And it's because I walk out and like literally there's roaches covering the mice because there's dog food on the ground for our dog.
Just eating the mouse?
Yeah.
Wow, what a savage life they're living.
Definitely worse than ours. We didn't have a working bathroom there in Louisville, Kentucky. Shout out to that crappy egg landlord. There you go, ag landlord. I know my mama was like always late on rent, but like you couldn't make sure we had a walking bathroom.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Should have called some type of government official on that one.
Yeah, I don't think she cared. She had too much going on.
How old were you when you did like your first song?
That's a good question. Either 17 or 18. I mean, I performed a lot growing up. So when I was like 4 or 5, even when if I was in a wheelchair. In the South, the people at the church always thought me as a charity case because I was the only black kid there. So
they were nice to you.
They were very nice because, oh my gosh, I can help out this black kid. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I can do some charity work. This underprivileged child. That's how they felt. So
they were nice though, right?
I appreciate them being nice to my face, but it was subliminally racist. But anyway. So, down there in the South, First Baptist Church was my first church choir. We were in I think I was 5 or 6, 7. I broke my first foot. I was in a wheelchair. My younger brother, James, he was singing a solo song, and they wheeled me up to him because he started messing up. So I started singing with him. It was at First Baptist Church, and then after that, they put me in all the Christmas pageants. After that, and then when we lived anywhere in Kentucky, there's churches around every corner. So I was always in the church choir, and in 8th grade, I was in this group called Project Reaction with my sister Ruby. Okay. And this person named Greg, he ran it. He paid for our He paid for our trip because it cost money to go there. So he paid for our trip, and he bought us the stuff like the soaps, the duffel bags, clothes to go perform. I think we went to North Carolina, South Carolina. Ooh. We were up in Pennsylvania. We also went all the way down south. We went to Florida. We went to Georgia, and I was performing with this choir. And they also took me to a Winter Jam concert, which is like the biggest Christian music festival there is. Okay. And after that, I realized, dang, between that and the music I listened to and seeing how people change their life with music, I realized I wasn't going to let that go. Because after all the things that was happening with me, the only thing that seemed stable was the fact that I could sing.
Was you still in the wheelchair at this moment?
No, I was walking at that point.
You was walking at that point?
Yeah, I was walking at that point. But actually, during some of the practices, I had a boot on because I was healing from a surgery, but I was walking at that point.
Since it was Christian, let's get into that. How do you feel about the Lord? Are you into him?
You know
Is it
what's
real?
crazy?
What's up with the God?
White Jesus, hell no. Or heck no.
I heard you say a little something about white Jesus.
White
earlier.
Jesus, heck no. But I did want to say a couple of days ago, not even going to lie to you, okay. I finally surrendered to an all creator, if that makes sense.
Explain.
Well, the way that it is, I always questioned it because the Bible never made no sense to me, but it's also written ass or ag backwards. The Bible is, first of all, women make wife in their womb. Or life in their womb. Why the heck does the Bible just bash women the whole time and color people and mixing tribes? It never made no sense to me. But then after a while, I started getting into Egyptian culture a lot, and I started looking at the history and the things from that, and realized where black people actually stem from and where this world came from. And I started to realize, like I said, it was literally just it's just all effed up from the beginning. They had you so far from the truth, it doesn't even make any sense. And so I do believe in a higher creator. I do believe in some type of God, but it'd be masculine and energy, both. Masculine and feminine energy, both. Not just one or the other. We got set up in a patriarchal society for the white man. And all men are, black men, even though they are extremely oppressed, they're still going to benefit more than women, because what we realize in this society, what they feared, they oppressed. But the harder you press on coal, the faster it turns into a diamond. So I feel it feared a lot. But literally just the other night, I was realizing, oh my gosh, there's been a reason why I've almost died 3 times in my life. The way I grew up, the fact that I actually tried to kill myself and didn't succeed, and I've chased music this whole time, it made me actually realize there has to be, because based off of statistics and how I grew up and what was going on, I should either be dead, pregnant, doing really some hard ass drug, but I'm not. Instead, I'm making music and I'm here with you right now. Yeah. And that's what made me realize there's something else out there working and going on, if that makes any type of sense. So I definitely been a creator. When you look at religions, I studied it a lot for the past 2 years. There's a common story in every single one. There's similarities in every single one. When I do research, I don't just look at one thing. I look at 10 to 20 different things, and I look at the common things that they say, because the more often it's being said in different people's platforms or different people posting the stuff or writing about it is probably more accurate than everybody else giving their own area expertise, if that makes sense. Yeah. So when you look at religion in a whole, there's always a creator and always somebody being born to be walking the earth off of something else. What they say with Jesus Christ, he got he got impregnated, Mary, his mom got impregnated. Same thing happened with Krishna. Same thing happened with 2 other religions, and Krishna's Buddhism or Hinduism, sorry. And so I just look at the common similarities and with the ancient stories, because I like to hide our history. that's when I realized, there's something else out there, because we can all feel it. There's a collective way of feeling and collective way of thinking. Everybody recognizes it, and the darker your skin, the faster you're going to see it. So...
Oh, dang. All right. Dang, I don't know. All right. I don't even know. I don't know. It's interesting. A lot of people say that. I've noticed, like, working, because I work with a lot more black people now, like, a lot of pro-black sometimes means, like, anti-white. What's that about? Have you ever noticed that?
I did notice it. And the thing is I always felt like it's good. I always feel like I love you. But I feel like there's always good to have black pride, because you deserve to have that black pride, because for a long time you weren't allowed to have it. And everybody has forgotten their history and their roots and where we come from. And like in Africa, we worship the earth. And we trust our intuition, and we worship the women. And like here, it's written ag or ass backwards. I'll let you edit it out to decide which one.
I think,
but
okay, all right,
but it's written back. It's written backwards. But I do realize there's a lot of anti-black people or anti-white people out here as a black people, and that is okay for you to be like that. Or there's even black people that don't like other black people. Or I even had a roommate one time. Oh my God, I couldn't stand this man. He told me, he was like, I don't like poor black people. I only like rich black people. And what he meant, like at the time, it really offended me. But at the time, I realized what it was. The Uncle Ruckus of our generation, right?
Oh,
he was
black. He's black.
He's black.
Okay,
He's
all
darker
right.
than you and me.
Okay.
But yeah, but I realized what it was is because he's seen white people having an easygoing life. And like black people that like surpass the system having the easygoing life. It's not like he liked them or wanted them more or wanted to be like them more. It was because of the fact that he's seen them having it easier, so he admired it. But for your answer, I do feel like it's good to have black pride, but not to the extent where you're reacting and being the same way as the people that treated us. Like, it's okay, karmically, we're gonna get our lick back. We already had Queen Elizabeth is dead.
I don't like her either. That's so funny.
Nobody likes her. She's like the major oppressor. Oh my God.
We're not going to talk about her because
because your podcast's going to get taken down. You're going to get censored.
Listen,
you're going to get censored if we were going to get into that.
I did an episode on her and I got 11 views.
You're going to get censored because
I think they made it go down.
Because I'm going to tell you this, but make sure you censor this out. It's because we're still ruled by Britain.
Stop. Anyways,
make sure you don't put this in your video.
I will.
We're still ruled by Britain. You're gonna put. Yeah, go ahead. It's both censored. Listen, I made a TikTok about the church one time about like the story I told you.
Yeah.
So in the same not to get off track, I'll go bring back to the story. But in that story, bro, like I remember sharing one can of SpaghettiOs with me and my sister and brother. And pulling up in a wheelchair in a church bus. But I get to the church in Southern Kentucky, and I look up, and it's the highest ceilings I've ever seen before. And the preacher's preaching off marble countertops, and there's velvet couches, and the books are the nicest books I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay. Not the ones I have or the school, but the nicest books I've ever seen. And there was food, and healthy food at that, and tons of it, where we were struggling to have it, or we had the food stamps to get it, and it would be the stuff that my mom could afford to buy in abundance.
At the church? Are you at the church?
No, at home. But at the church, we'd have healthy food. So that's when I started questioning Christianity at itself. Because, like, if you also think about the Catholic religion, right? They went around, and was it 16 or 1700s, just killing people, murking them off if you didn't believe in Jesus Christ. What kind of fucking Christian does that? Or fudging Christian does that?
I guarantee we're past 15. I think you can swear on that.
But yeah, like, what kind of fudging Christian does that?
Well, one that wants to make sure everyone else is a Christian.
Exactly. And that's when King James wrote the Bible. The book of Enoch is way more accurate, and it has more Egyptian base, too. I don't know if I read parts of it, but I have not read all of it because they keep it separate. And they don't want to sell it. And then if they do, they make it extremely high price. So people in poor communities, i.e. POCs, can't afford it.
POCs, people of color, ADOS Americans, African descendants of slavery. That type of thing.
Yeah, and that's why they were so pressed at the get-go for us not have our education, so we can't recognize our power.
I don't know. I'm starting to think a little bit differently than how I grew up thinking. I used to think like,
well, you were blessed. Your life, when we heard in the car, your lifestyle was blessed.
For sure.
You're really like, that's the way that everybody wants to raise their family, you know. And I love that your parents did that with you.
Me too. Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
They did a good job.
But don't you believe that any color can ascend beyond like the hood or poverty?
Most definitely. We should like. But the thing is that we're not always all given that equal opportunity. The reason why I got put in jail is because I was breaking the law. And it's because at that time, I figured that was the best choice for me. But I didn't know the resources I had available. I didn't know the help I could have asked for. I didn't know the boundaries I had to place because I grew up so rough. So it's a lot about uneducation, which is changing now. Thankfully, because of social media and mainly TikTok, because TikTok is governed by a third party. It's from another country. That's why Donald Trump tried to ban it. So therefore, the government can't censor it. So if any information you want, you can post on TikTok. TikTok is doing its best to try to censor it because a lot of websites and everything else get censored by the U.S. government. But since TikTok is China-made, they don't really have a lot of power. And remember like, I don't know if you read about it ever, but Donald Trump literally, when he was in office, tried to take down the TikTok and he couldn't.
Oh, I remember. It's just
remember? Yeah. That, like, because you can literally post what you want and it can go around. It can get like filtered to a certain extent, but that's where a lot of people's education have been coming from is social media nowadays. That's why this next generation of kids are like so smart.
When I smoke weed on it, they take my shit down.
Of course, because you're higher vibing. You see, I can't.
I'm saying on TikTok.
No, I'm saying, you can't do that. You can't smoke weed and don't use cuss words. If you do cuss and if you caption your stuff, don't do it.
Well, that's
they
what
can't
I'm
promote
saying.
drugs because it's not illegal in all states, and it's not legal in their country. It's legal here in Michigan, but it's not legal everywhere else.
But if me and you go live on Twitch, which is worldwide, because this is Michigan, we can smoke blunts the whole time, no problem. So what's that about? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe America's starting to get their hands into it a little bit more. I don't know. It's a good thing I was born in a white family and have a white boyfriend. Otherwise, I'd probably be killed for the things I talk about and rap about.
That's hilarious. Oh, did you want to try to perform your song? I know you. So if you can't play it while we're recording, I know at minimum I could probably play it. I could play it on my phone and then put it up to here while she does it, and then
we can't perform it, but like. You said you wanted to punch it, right? If you want to do that, you still can't do that, but you can still get the energy of me performing while playing it on the beat.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna be on I'm gonna be accurate the whole time.
Do you want me to still play it? That's why I said I
can. I'm gonna email you. I'm gonna email you the song. I can hear it perfectly from there. I can email you the song, but you can still get the energy of me performing.
Oh, you can do both.
Yeah, or like you can play it from the speaker.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let me take a little sippity sip of this little juicy juice I got.
So before you do it, I want you to state what the name of the song is and then like what tape it's gonna be on or whatever.
I really enjoy before I do that. I really enjoy being here right now.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that.
If you guys, while I'm here, I love this purple room I'm in. You guys purple's my favorite color. If you haven't heard Purple Hearts from Kendrick Lamar already, you should listen to it. But go ahead.
Say your.
Oh no, my song. Oh,
You want a promo first?
Yeah, you. Yeah, you're right. All right, the name of the song is called TBH. To be honest, my name is Vinlea. It's gonna be on my tape that comes out. The name of the tape is titled Urania. If you want to know the meaning behind the word, Google it, and it'll be out on 10/10, which is also my mom and my brother's birthday.
There you go. Hit it, bro.
Look, bitch, I got a stomach and I'm really proud of it. Your great granddad been telling me how we love it. Got bullied as a kid, so now I say fuck it. Got a fat ass and your husband like to touch it. Nappy ass hair sound like tears when I brush it. Hating ass bitches like to tell him where to stuff it since you on my.
That might have been it. See, we should have ran it out, Dad. But all right, well, you got a little bit. You know what I'm saying? There's a preview. Make sure you check out the song.
Maybe the universe wants to just be held. Like, I believe in timing. I believe in synchronicities. Maybe he just wants us to wait.
They got a snippet. They got a little taster.
Maybe we gotta wait for my tape. I don't know.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But so I don't know if it works. It works. But if not. I wanted to ask you more questions.
You can always ask any questions you want.
What's your beliefs on aliens?
I mean, if we exist, they have to exist, right?
Get the fuck out of here, right? That's fucking the fact. That's the fudging facts, dude. That's the gosh darn truth.
If we exist on this planet in this one galaxy, there at least has to be, even if not in our own galaxy, other fucking like universes or galaxies or fudging universes or galaxies where aliens exist. Because if we exist, they have to exist.
The only reason that I think that they are a possibility of being real is just because of just like even from natural selection on Earth, almost every type of thing that can live does live. Exactly.
And like human DNA is made up of all the other species on Earth.
Really?
Have you ever watched Rick and Morty?
I've watched a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't know what like season or show it was on, but he like crashed a spaceship, and he was given like Rick was given Morty DNA to like help him to heal, regenerate faster. And he's like, yeah, this is human DNA. It's mixed with all kinds of everything else. And I googled it. So I'm actually reading this book. Oh my gosh, called Sapiens right now, and it talks about the human evolution. And the professor he's from a Hebrew college in Jerusalem, and his first name is Yovel. I don't remember. I can picture it in my head, but I'm not sure how to pronounce it right. His first name is Yovel. The book is called Sapiens. It has like a red triangle on it, which I automatically trusted the book because of my my triangles.
Okay.
And he's like a Hebrew college, like Jerusalem is where he works at. I'm like on chapter 3 or 4, but he talks about the human evolution. One thing he pointed out to me was that everybody else, like every other species, and then like the evolution to get to the top of their food chain took millions of years. It took millions of years, where humans only took 100,000, and it was because of our collective consciousness and because they are able to like our ability to work together, which I don't understand why we can't do that now.
But what about other primates? They seem to work together as well, like bonobo
They
chimps.
do, but it still took them millions of years to reach the top of their food chain. Homo sapiens, which i.e. means humans, took only 100,000. Compared 2 million to 10 million years, that's like $2 million to $10 million, right? To only 100,000. That's like a fast time to evolve.
It makes us special.
Yeah, it does.
For sure.
And I feel like it's because of the ability to work together and communicate with each other. So he also said in the book that Homo sapiens developed a communication language the fastest. And that's what made their species grow the fastest. It's because we were able to learn, first off, oh my gosh. Well, if you think about it like this, when a baby is born, all it wants is love and to be loved.
Okay.
So, and because of that, because we got that factor in our genetics, we were able to evolve the fastest.
Oh, actually, I have heard that. That's funny, and that's why like affection is an evolutionary
that's what separates
thing.
us from the rest of the animal kingdom, because they're always only going to be worried about them after a certain point. And that's why we're also associated with like you said with primates. We're associated with primates a lot because of the fact that they look out for their young the most out of like all the other species, and for a longer time. So that's why we have the closest DNA with them. But human DNA is like made up of everything that's happening on this earth right now.
But don't you think
like the same like skin that grows on mushrooms grows on your human body?
I did not know that.
Yeah, like mushrooms eat us, and we eat mushrooms.
I've eaten many mushrooms.
Me too. Magic mushrooms. I always wondered, like, what if they put you in a state of like induced cannibalism to make you hallucinate, because a lot of their percentage of what makes them their fungi is us.
Well, when you like do engage in cannibalism, you don't psychedelically trip.
No, but you go crazy.
That's only if you eat the brain, the prions.
What if that's what the mushrooms digest?
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I'm not a scientist.
but don't you believe that the aliens could have contributed to the quickness of our growth when it comes to our evolution?
I think, what if we were the aliens?
Explain.
Well, like I necessarily believe that maybe aliens, like, we can refer to as energies, right? So think about like the sun and the moon, right? How it controls the tides on Earth, and that's salt water. You can't tell me the stars and the sun and the moon didn't control the 70% of salt water that's made out of your body.
No, I agree. So
exactly. So what if what we consider aliens are actually just the stars just migrating and doing their same crap over and over again, or in different ways, because they're made out of boiling gas? If the sun and the moon, the same thing that makes them, makes the other planets in our galaxy and the stars in the sky, you can't tell me that it doesn't like affect our saltwater bodies. And that's why I feel like astrology has helped me communicate with people a lot more clearly and a lot more effectively, you know? So when I think about aliens, higher life forms, right, I think about them being on other planets. And I think about timing. So in this galaxy, the sun's going to rotate the same amount of time all the time. In this galaxy alone, they're only going to probably maybe get the same amount of time there as they do here, because they're going to rotate in the same amount of way. Because sun is our way of life. Because we're like, is it Earth closest to the sun?
I have no clue.
I
don't know.
Let me look at my thing.
Earth
is one of the closest planets to the sun, but it's not the closest. But it could be farther out. But at the same time, it's still going to go around the same way that it does. So therefore, we're all going to go around the same amount of time. And that's why Mercury retrograde, I think, lasts like about 90 days. And so because of that, I believe that life form is going to develop in the same type of way. But like, believe in aliens is a crazy thing. I don't believe that energy can be, so here we get taught, since we're this big, that energy is reduced, reused, and recycled on this earth. as in you don't leave the ozone layer. So therefore, like when you pass away, or when you die, or like your energy is still gonna remain here on this ozone layer, right? But the more that your name is being said, because lyrics and symbols all resonate energy, like the way that we hear things is like your eardrum vibrates. That's how you hear. And the way you see things is by atoms moving quickly fast, and the light is reflecting off your cornea. And that's just basic science, right? And that's energy, because them atoms that's making us see, they have to move at a certain vibration to bond together in order for us to see. So therefore, if you're saying like a certain person's name enough and enough after they pass, they're probably going to still, or their energy is still going to remain, because of the fact that, because of symbols, because no matter what it is, this couch, this phone, this mic is either slow or fast moving atoms that make up for them to exist. They still exist. It's just able to bond them and mold them together in order for them to be there. And that's what humans are expertise at. We are experts in being able to manipulate energy. That's why things are like existing here at this time. Physical things, spiritual things, everything else. So yes, I kind of do believe in angels, but I more believe in the energy of the person that was there last. Like, what if Jesus was just the first celebrity?
The first. Well, he wouldn't be the first, right? Because wasn't Judaism first and Muslim?
And the people that taught that, absolutely. But like in this country,
Allah, or no, what's his name? Who's the Muslim one?
So think about America as a whole, right? Like
Okay.
when I told you about like cultures before and religions before, where they took like where it's like a bunch of common similarities. What if they just studied colonizers, right? They were smart in what they did. It was strategic. They didn't just go somewhere and do something just to do it. No, it was always planned out. Think about like the way that Christianity is set up.
Okay.
So I think the way that like that happened is because of the fact that they actually did their research on other, like they had the time to do it, because they didn't, like a lot of people with a lighter skin don't focus on their families as much as they should, you know? So they had time to focus their energies elsewhere.
Okay.
And what did they like actually like, I don't know, took time to study culture, and they read like King James, he was a white man. King James, the one that rewrote the Bible that literally governed our way of life here in this country, also wrote a book on demonology.
Okay. I didn't know that, but all right.
How do you write a book on demonology and a book of the Bible? How are you access to both information when you can meet people that actually speak the word of the creator and speak people like low vibrational people? How do you write a book on both without one being not toxic from the other?
Ooh, maybe you could. I don't know. I'm not a book writer.
Yeah, I just don't know. If you have knowledge of both, why would you push both out? Because for me and you, because I can already tell, you're going to want what's best for your people, right?
Yeah.
Me too. So how could you write a book on demonology?
Oh, I mean, I loved Aleister Crowley's book on demonology.
Okay, but how could you write a book?
I could write a book.
On demons?
I could write a book on
demons.
demons.
But to help people, right?
If they just want to know about the demons.
Exactly. If they want to know. But why would you write a book of demonology that you can actually access them? And you
like I had talked to him and stuff.
Yeah, and King James also.
You wouldn't do it for $100 million?
Why the hell would I hurt people for money?
Well, they're choosing to do it.
But why would I put content out for money? Money is the root of evil. Money is just a representation of time.
Because someone else will create it, right?
Okay, well, good for them, but that's not going to be me.
So it hurts like your...
I literally would probably... I would want to kill myself if I hurt somebody.
What if your music could hurt someone? You make music.
But it won't.
What do you mean?
Because I know my intention on this earth, and it's not to hurt. So the thing I look at karmic as a balance. Also black and white. Remind you, if there is like something that's coming up that's just positive energy, there's going to be something negative matching it. And I do know that my intention, I will never try to ever hurt someone intentionally. I could respond out of feelings, but I know my gut instinct is to never to hurt, is to help. I don't give a F if I make money off of it. I don't give a F if I get publicity off of it. I do not care. I'm just not going to do anything in order to hurt somebody's feelings. And if I do it unintentionally, I'm going to try to learn from it.
Okay, unintentionally.
Yeah. If I do it unintentionally, like I'm still going to try to learn from it. If I'm able to know about it. I would never try to do that, because all the things that I went through in life and the people and the friends that I've met that have actually done that to me, I would never want anybody to feel like me.
What about like a boxer? Does a boxer bother you?
I don't box.
I know you. No. I get it.
No,
you're not gonna hurt. You're on the love tip.
Thing is
I get you're on the love tip.
I know Mike Tyson just put out his like Hulu special, but the thing is like with that, everybody has their own journeys to come across.
Okay.
Sometimes some people can be other people's karma.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, do you look down on like boxers?
I would never look down on everybody. I feel like there's a common like misconception of me is about me looking down on people, and that's another reason why I can't get really close to a lot of people. But it's not even that. I would never judge anybody. We're no better or good, have no more purpose than the tree outside, the bug on the ground, that tarantula in the aquarium, and the rain that falls. Like, the thing is with me is just like I do not judge, but I always see where we could have more love, if that makes sense.
I mean, I judge like child molesters. I judge people that have crappy content.
Me too. I judge, but because at some point,
I be judging.
At some point, you get
At
some points, you get moral conscience, right? And you can make your own choices.
Yeah.
But then you have to think about what the hell happened to them as a kid to make them choices.
Still, at the end of the day, you're
Still
dangerous.
At the end of the day, yes.
You're too dangerous.
Yeah, and they should be away from society, right? Them like especially. Because I've been molested, like especially
that's horrible.
child like pedophiles and molesters. They said especially should be locked away. I've been molested, but you still have to think about what made them that way and the purpose in that way. Like at some point, we all develop a moral conscience, right? You can make your own choices. Yeah, they effed up, but think about why they effed up. It's not just because they messed up, but why did they do it to begin with? And you have to go back to the roots. What happened to them in their childhood? You have to go back to that in their childhood, and their childhood, and their childhood, and you realize it's called generational trauma. I found that out in jail when I read that book. Generational trauma. And it's because of like the conversations that 30, 20, even 10, 5, 50, 100 years ago, the conversations we're having now, we're not able to have had. And that's when people don't talk and can't work out their issues and feel like somebody else can resonate, because as humans, we are here to love and be loved. And if we can't do that with others, I'm going to close off and make our own conclusions. On top of that, toxins, the food, the water we drink, not even just Flint. Like if they don't care about Flint, they're not going to care about the rest of our water. The water that we drink, the food, everything else is put against us to devolve our human evolution, because there's physical people here that love being rich and they love like. Right?
That's very, very true.
Yeah, because eventually our whole goal is to move up there. You know, our whole goal is to leave this place.
Is it?
And I think so. Earth has been trying to get rid of us.
Have you heard of Elon Musk talk about like downloading your consciousness into a digital?
Of course, because they still want that shit to be here. But at the same time, human emotion is calculated in like artificial intelligence, but it's not organic. It doesn't come from this earth like humans have. Like everything on this earth has literally been here for us to survive. But then Earth has been tired of us. Earth has reset way more times than what they say it has happened. And I know that because I trust my gut, which they try to get you not to do. TikTok videos are only 3 minutes a video. You have your phones right here the whole time. You have lights and you have screens. It gives you very little time to look within yourself. Think about what the Egyptians did. They looked within themselves and they evolved as a race, for a certain point in time before they started. The first slaves were the Jews before they started doing that.
Oh, snatch. She said the first. So I think you guys should look inside of yourselves, but also make sure you watch the Randy Savagery show, then look into yourself. Tune in and make sure you catch the show. All right, continue. I don't want you to brainwash them out of watching.
Purple's a great color. Purple's the color of spirituality and healing.
That's true.
It's the color that's associated with Virgos a lot.
So like, what if like, oh yeah, because you don't judge anyone else, but like, all right, so like, what if you like met someone, they're really cool, you start hanging out with them, but they are like the president of Marlboro cigarettes. So their life.
Well, then I would like. The thing is, it'd be how much of a bond, because the thing is with me is that I'm gonna quit smoking vapes here in a couple weeks, and I should smoke cigarettes. I will never judge anybody, but if you're bad for my health, I won't be around you. I would wish you the best from afar, but I will not be around you.
No, he's cool. Like the person is cool.
They're cool. That's fine. Be like, yeah, baby. Like, I'm gonna remind you how bad they are for you.
I'm
gonna remind you. I think you said he did smoke Marlboro cigarettes.
No, he's the president of Marlboro cigarettes.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
He contributes to the death of millions of Americans. But he's a good guy, and he doesn't.
Then I would constantly remind him what he's doing.
Damn, all the time.
All the time. I don't care. Like literally, one of the things that I've been through, I do not care. I would constantly remind him all the time. And then eventually, if he wants to stop hanging out with me, even though he has the influence to help people, and stop making that, or maybe I could show him different ways, because the only reason why that people like don't want to do things, like especially like in that position, is because they're greedy. So I could probably help him invest into another company. I would do my research, try to invest into another company where he pours money into that can help, and he can get that same return. And if I still can't provide that, I would constantly remind him all the time until he cut me off.
Let me ask you a question. What if he was like, if you can prove that you can get me the same return, I'd do it. Would you like lay off of him till you find that company?
I wouldn't lay off. I would still remind him. I would still remind him. I have an Aunt Rosanna. She had cancer 8 times, and she just recently died of lung cancer, and I'm pretty sure it's because of cigarettes.
R.I.P.
It was about a year ago, but I just started processing her death a couple months ago, and she beat cancer 7 times or 8 times before that. And this last time I seen her, I knew it was gonna be the last time I seen her. She was like, you know, like, I'm gonna die. She always told me like it was a mindset thing. She always told herself she's gonna heal and then beat it, and then it kept on coming back for her. But she was such a good woman. Wow. So like, yeah, and like I'm gonna quit smoking vapes here soon. Like, I used to smoke cigarettes myself at one point, and then I went to vapes, and now I'm about to stop. I even smoked weed like probably from 15 or 16 to 21, 20.
Those are the good. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
It's the great stuff. It makes your vibes high. That's why they made it illegal for so long. But if you think about the world is changing itself, and we're able to smoke weed, and Ann Arbor's starting to legalize mushrooms.
Have you taken mushrooms?
Yeah, because of the things I rap about. I'm not gonna say yes or no.
Oh, okay.
If that makes any sense.
All right.
Yeah, you know, they killed Pac, they killed Biggie, they killed X, they killed Juice WRLD. Yeah. They just killed B&B Rock, and they even like literally like Kobe automatically like his plane or his helicopter and his daughter just crashed, and all these people were great for the black community. So for the record, I've never done mushrooms.
Yeah. I have, for the record. I don't know. That doesn't bother me. But they are wild. They're a wild experience for sure.
The more work, the more I'm alive.
No, you do it. I don't think they'll kill me for my mushroom use. Because if they will, they're already getting me. I've like put videos up of me on mushrooms and stuff. I
don't fear death at all. Like, I knew it was something that I could get into, or like that could happen for me because of the things I talk about. But I got some good camouflage. But I do feel like there's more work to do for me to do beyond past 25 and 35. So for the record, I've never done any mushrooms. I've only went through multiple ego deaths without mushrooms.
All right. But all right, yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up though, because like, I haven't heard all your music, but from what I heard, it doesn't seem like you get in the beef stuff. Like, because
like there's been so many people that trying to beef with me, but I don't care.
Really?
I after like that fight from high school, and after that, there was this middle-aged woman while I was 18. I used to give her rides back and forth to work. I used to help her take care of her kids, give her financial stability. And then she effed me over because she got mad when I cut her off. So ever since then, like, I refuse. Like, the way you react to such situations is how people want you to react, especially as black people. Like, they want you to get a certain reaction out of you so that you can fit their narrative. And I refuse to let anybody have me step out of character or give them that energy. Like, there's this girl I was really close friends with that got like back into her previous toxic relationship. That they did me both. They wished death on me, and they probably to this day are still talking crap about me. But I've not given them no response. I don't care to. And the thing I feel about balance, it's karmic energy. It's because I know when I come in people's lives, I never want to hurt them, take advantage of them, or use them. You know?
Yeah.
And then when they do that to me, well, karmically, I'm gonna get my lick back because that's not how balance works. Like, I'm here to help, not hurt.
That's nice.
I've been through a lot of hurt. There's no reason for me wanting to make anybody feel the way that I feel.
That you felt.
Well, I just not started getting into therapy. I told you in the beginning.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'm still.
You did.
I'm healing. I'm doing my best.
Okay. All right.
Where'd you get them Cheetos from?
The Cheetos fire. The Cheetos fire.
Cheetos?
Nope.
Okay, I'll eat the hot Cheetos too.
All right. I have a question to ask you.
Yes,
If you could work with anyone in the industry that you haven't worked with already, who would it be?
Anybody off the Dreamville label for sure. I love the things they talk about. It helps me resonate with things that I talk about in my own tape, which drops on 1010. It's called Urania, Urania. And honestly, I would love to go on tour with Doja Cat. I like the fact about her being mixed, and a lot of things about her music that I don't know what it was. Recently, I started playing her album. It took a long time for her to get to me, but she finally did.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, and I also like to work with anybody in Detroit also. Like Rocky Bad, like she's dope as hell. I like a lot of the stories she talks about, especially things about her struggles, you know?
Yeah.
So I would love to work with her anytime. Her manager had offered like a free collab before. I don't know. Rather, it's because like I'm a recovery addict. At that time, I was off a lot of drugs, or I was like extremely egotistical. But either way, like I would love to finally get the collab started as well. I probably got to reach out and get that fixed up. Oh, and Tiny Jag. I would love to work with Tiny Jag. Yeah, I love that woman.
Give my people at home your plugs, like your Instagram, wherever it is that you do your thing online, digitally based.
Okay. You can follow my Instagram at Lala Vinlea, LalaVinlea, and to like plug in any other of my music at all. It's on all platforms, especially on my tape drops, including a couple music videos. Just look up the name Vinlea, V as in Victor, I N as in night, Lea, and I will be there. I don't think there's anybody else making music named Vinlea or anybody named Vinlea.
You really were super unique.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah. That's it. End of the Randy Savage Show. Boom.